What number are we at? What is this, 14?
I think this is 15.
15?
This is
No.
15.
It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. So when I cut my hair myself, and when I cut it,
It looks glorious.
thanks. Yeah, it's really hard to do the buzz cut. But the first thing I did was I like cut the sides and left the hair super long on top and super long in the back, and then I took a nice Snapchat and I was like, look, I've got the Ted Cruz cut. So I rocked that for approximately 5 minutes before I just chopped it all off.
That's always interesting.
We can talk about normal things now.
No, that's good though. Like people do that with their beards too, right? Like you have the big old beard, and then like you do like the different styles as you're chopping it all off when you go from a full beard to no beard.
Yeah, I did that once upon a time.
So you can see what the style looks like.
I would love to see Lol with the mustache.
The mustache
Just
only.
The mustache?
Just the stash.
All right.
I bet it'd be real
Give me
creepy.
like a month, and I'll do it. I'm gonna get this thing a little thicker for you.
You don't even need to like get on the podcast. You can just send me a picture. That's fine.
No, it's got to be public. I'm into public shaming. It motivates people to do great things.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So I guess we should talk about WoW though. So
Yeah, we could do that.
When did we officially start the podcast? I think we should start it, when you upload this, back to where we started, just ripping on you for hair.
No,
I agree.
That'll be conveniently cut somehow. I don't know how that's going to happen. It's not going to work.
You should stop cutting things, man. They don't grow back if you're not figuring this out.
Oh, it's never going to end. Just kidding. No. So we're on...
Are we officially on 15?
I'm calling this 15. I think it's 15.
If it's not 15,
I'm
it's
never
14.
right,
We're gonna skip
This is
14.
the most put together podcast. People.
That's okay. So
I know. Check on the YouTubes what it officially says.
I think we're on the other ones. Yeah, but
the last one I see is 13. I think we're on 14.
Yeah, I think it's 14. But we should be on like 15 or 16. But there was things just kept coming up, and obviously
life was happening.
Yeah.
Streaming was sucking.
So I'm interested. I know we're supposed to be talking about the boxing thing, which is sort of related because you're the one that has all the graphics cards that nobody can actually find right now because they're like But how many do you have running at the moment?
Can you geolocate this stream?
I don't think so.
It's hot. I'm sweating in here right now.
Really? Yeah. Is it really hot? Even though it's kind of probably chilly where you're at.
Yeah. So I've actually.
Dude, he's like shiny. He's like Mr. Clean.
That's because I got this, light right there on my face, and it's like, what up? I've only got in this room, 10 running, and then in the other two rooms, another 20, and I've got another 80 or 90 to go to plug in.
Goodness.
And then my brother was it's just I had these really nice mining racks from Mining Cave, sponsor dad. But they were like super hard to find, and they got backwards, so I only got 2 of them. Those were easy. I literally just took them out of storage, threw my video cards in, plugged them on, the thing booted up first time. I was like, this was easy. All of the other ones, I did like Home Depot shelves where I legit cut them up and zip tied. I'd just like slap all the things together and zip tie hanging video cards. So when I put those into storage, I had to break the whole build all the way down. I've just been too busy to build them all. My brother and I are working on starting a small little adventure in building some mining gear to sell. So we got a 3D printer and some aluminum rods. We're trying to recreate those racks and start selling them. But so yeah, that's just kind of been.
Uh-oh. I lost internet. Okay, I'm back. Maybe.
Hi. I didn't ask a question.
Yeah, I think his stream dropped or something.
Yeah, I died again.
Womp womp.
It's back though.
Wow.
Terrible.
Shit together, man.
I know. I don't know what to do now. I don't know. And it's showing it. You guys can hear me fine though, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It looks like it's stabilized. Okay. Terrible.
You tried to go pro and.
I know. I did everything I could. Bought a new computer, new cable modem, new internet. Doesn't matter.
Dude, you've been dedicated to the cause.
No, so the only thing I got to fix though is get the hardwire. I got to get instead of doing Wi-Fi, I got to wire it from the second floor.
I didn't realize you weren't hardwired.
Well, I'm sort of hardwired. The hardwire is going into
You're dropping frames because you're using a Wi-Fi mesh. Like, plug that thing in.
No, that's the goal. We had somebody that was gonna, because I was trying to say it beforehand. I'm getting it contracted basically. Sort of. It's like somebody's going to give assistance to just run the wire in there because they're really good at patching walls after you make the mess. So
yeah, I've got some holes that need to be patched from when I ran Ethernet for my kids.
It's one of those things though, right? As soon as you finish, you're like, I'm not looking at it.
No, I didn't patch it because I knew I wasn't done because I'm gonna run power out to my shed and I'm gonna run Ethernet out to my shed, so I gotta go through the walls again.
Yeah.
And then I've got like a 48 port switch that I'll drop in right there, and then I can have all of my miners on Ethernet too.
Oh.
The least you could do is get your stream on Ethernet.
I know I need to. I guess I could just throw it all the way down to the basement. You're right. That would make more sense, and that would make it stabilized. Maybe. We'll see. Either way, we'll find out.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on in WoW right now? 9.05.
I'm excited for the patch.
Is going to come, yeah, and there's a lot of changes in it, and that's just the little patch. Also the 9. Actually, we have no idea when 9.1 is coming. But so with this podcast, like we're doing this on a Wednesday on March 3rd. The estimated that the 9.05 patch has already been what is that, like they marked it for public release? I'm not sure how that phrasing goes. Like when you mark it as
it's a release candidate.
They have a release candidate?
That's exactly the word I was looking for.
Look
yeah.
at us. We both said the same word.
So they marked it as that. Well, you guys do more programming than me, I think, so you know what that means. But I guess that means that's the one that's good to go, right? Like we can sell this one.
That's not necessarily what that means. That means they just expect it to be finalized, and if there's no major flaws, then they'll probably ship it on Tuesday.
I gotcha.
Stakeholders want new shiny objects. The shareholders want new shiny objects. Here's a release candidate. I hope it's not fucked up. That's what that means.
It means they QA'd it to some degree.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Somebody's eyeballs glanced over it.
Somebody was like, "Yeah, this is probably good."
Yeah. So with that, I mean that's what's happening. So we're expecting either the 16th, I think, or the 24th. If I'm doing my numbers.
You think it's going to be that late?
I guess hypothetically it could even be next week. Hypothetically,
Great.
I would think if we're on a release candidate, it would be coming out next week. I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
Yeah.
There's really no telling with Blizzard, but like.
Yeah. Either way, it's coming soon. It's coming really soon, though, and it's going to make some huge quality of life changes for us. The biggest one, obviously, is the Valor points coming up. So Mythic progression, Mythic Plus, you're going to get the to be able to spend tokens on that to get gear.
That's my best change.
So
call it. That's the one I'm waiting for the most.
So I was looking at a Reddit thread today on that, and that was in the competitive WoW section. And they asked the question we all want to know, especially for multiboxing, is the account going to work? If you do it on one character, will it work on everybody in your account? And apparently, for BlizzCon, the Chinese Q&A section, they asked that specific question, and they answered that yes, it will be account-wide on there. And that's how it already works right now anyway, so they'd have to restructure their code in the first place, and I don't think they want to go through that effort.
They're too lazy.
But who knows? Who knows, right? But in the grand scheme of things, everything is pointing to that's going to be the case. If that's the case, I mean, literally, I think we should start dedicating a Fridays or anything to getting everybody in the community, one of their characters, full plus 10s or plus 15s.
A tank to come play with you guys, so we can push and unlock my account.
Does anyone else feel like this is almost too little too late?
Yes.
I'm really excited for this in the context of 9.1.
Yeah.
My concern is that they're not going to bring the system to 9.1 immediately. And you're so they'll wait again to bring it on to the next tier. And it I'm excited to get the gear upgrades and stuff, but I mean at this point I don't know, 9.1 is probably still going to be sometime this summer, I would imagine, or late spring.
Probably, yeah.
So I guess that gives us plenty of time to play with it, but I'm not super motivated right now. Even with the Valor change, I don't know that I'm super stoked to go grind tons just so that I can get some minor gear upgrades. I mean, I'm hoping more of the other changes kind of improve gameplay enough that I want to push.
Right.
Basically, I saw my accounts get renewed this weekend. I was like, should I go cancel those? Because I haven't played WoW in 3 weeks.
Oh, you guys are killing me. This is the best game ever. there is some other good options.
I really liked it. Shadowlands was great, and I was super happy with it.
Yeah, and I do see
they missed the mark on Mythic Plus.
Well, it's just because it's been so much harder for us to get gear as opposed to every other. If you play solo, you can gear up obviously way easier than usual than we could. So this is going to fix that.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine in 9.1. I think the same piece will be there. I think the other issue too is that it's taken a while to kind of, besides the druids for a druid comp, it's taken us a while to kind of find a good team that's easy but also pushes really well. Like I would have expected at this point already to have like a +10 done or to experience it. Organically.
Paladins worked pretty well. Druids worked pretty well.
Yeah.
But once you got to that, I don't know how high you pushed your druids. I think I've got mine to 5s and 6s before I stopped playing from time. But like, I really wanted Trinity to work, and it seems like since the changes, I've been watching you do it, and it seems to be working better. I don't know. Healing just seems behind.
It is harder for us. Yeah, it's changed drastically from what it needs to be. The Beast Mastery that we use for Trinity, it performs so well, but it's still bottom of the barrel in terms of overall. Like if you look at the statistics on like WoW raid logs and things like that, like Beastmaster is technically like the worst performing spec of all the specs. Yeah. The 9.05 patch is changing the main legendary that they use. They're basically almost doubling the damage bonus it gives on there. So it's going to give them a nice big chunk. So that's the primary one we use. And also with shamans, which we've been trying to use. I know Zach has tried to use them as well. I mean, their damage is getting drastically buffed too for AoE as well. And the single target's staying basically the same. Their sustained is going up a little bit.
I was pretty happy with like some of the Covenant ability changes that are coming and the class changes. And I saw the shaman changes. I was like, all right, I have to play this patch at least to decide if I want to play 9.1, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The Covenants, they're good too. Go ahead. Sorry, Doc.
I think I like really burned myself out this patch trying to figure out like what comp I wanted to play. Like,
yeah.
I leveled like
6 teams deep.
I'm like 4 or 5 teams deep, and I'm just like scratching the surface of like Mythic Plus, and I've done a few +4s, and I've like done a fair number of dungeons, but I just like, I don't know, I'm just like a little burnt out. I got a lot of competing priorities, so I'm gonna come back. I haven't like given up on the game. I'm not gonna like end my sub or anything, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not starving to finish +10s just so I can get like a couple months of Valor point upgrades.
Well, I think that's the typical life cycle too, though, right? I mean, I don't think anybody's expected to like grind it out, for a year straight. I think it goes like the expansion's been out now for what 4 months at least. 4 or 5 months almost. I mean, this is typically. I mean, you notice it. Like you were in a raiding guild too. I mean, people kind of like, I don't know what the word is, but they kind of sunset themselves, and they come back.
Ebbs and flows.
Yeah, and they come back. So I think that's why and Blizzard also does this too. It's like intentional, right? Like this 9.05 patch is kind of a beefy patch for like a mini patch.
They knew what they were doing, bringing Valor points in at this point.
Oh, exactly.
They didn't get Valor points on release because they knew like this would give people a reason to come back.
Yeah, I mean, that's all their important thing is.
I don't know.
I'm optimistic.
When the season resets, are we gonna get gold for the currency we didn't spend, or can we grind it up, wait for the season to flip over, and then start upgrading right away?
They'll probably just
they'll reset it. Yeah.
Probably
or that.
The numbers were like 1,000 turns into like 10,000. So like if you had 1,000 points and say you got an upgrade, well now you have like 10% of an upgrade for the next season.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, not that I've used it at all.
That's what they did with Residuum, right? Or what did you call it?
Residium.
They're
doing that. The other people, I haven't used it much, but the Stygia, which you get in the maw, people were talking about banking that, and they've already come out and said that the Stygia you have will be no good for the items that you'll purchase in the 9.1 patch or whatnot. So there's really no point in banking it.
That's so stupid though, because it's like people are doing it now so that they don't have to do it later, and they want to do other things in the game when there's like more content available. They're just trying to slow roll. From like a design perspective, I just don't understand why. Because like now, like people will grind things if they know there's like a reward to it. So then you like remove the reward and say, well, you have to do this later, and like it just makes the whole thing feel bad. Like I just don't get it.
I mean, I'm not trying to defend them on their side, but I totally see the thing. Like if you're not necessarily a dev, but you're the person that only cares about engagement numbers, then you're going to try to just slow roll the process as much as possible.
Yeah,
there.
I mean that's clearly what they're doing.
Yeah. So I mean that's definitely the angle they're taking on here. Because I mean if they wanted to basically give everybody quality of life, then as soon as the new expansion came out, I mean there's no reason why we can't fly from the get go, right? Like the zones are already designed to be able to fly in them in the first place. Besides probably the maw, maybe the maw is like I think they made a comment never to be able to fly in there.
Riding mounts. At some point.
Yeah. You're supposed to be able to get them out.
Flying will be interesting though because everything and. I'm actually super excited that's coming in 9.1. I think that's one of the better things they're doing in 9.1. Sorry. I'm curious to see how they do flying, though, because, like, every continent's, like, very disjointed from one another.
You won't be able to fly two continents. You'll be able to fly within the continent itself. Yeah. Although I did see somebody was able to use, like, rocket boots or something, and they were able to basically, like, slow fall from Oribos or whatever to one of the covenants. I forgot which one it was. So they are connected somehow. They're just not intentionally like that.
Well, yeah, your character has to physically fly through it. They don't teleport you when you like take flight paths, which I think is kind of stupid. But so they are technically connected physically within the world, but
right.
They aren't in the sense that like you can't just fly from zone to zone.
Yeah, but So with the go ahead.
Sorry. I like that it's not tied based off faction. It's just through your covenants. I haven't done the covenant stories, so I guess this gives me a reason to do them.
Have you guys seen that today? The Alliance finally got a Hall of Fame achievement for Mythic.
Did you hear how though?
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up exactly. So it looks there's no hard concrete evidence, but it's pretty apparent what happened though. Law probably doesn't know what we're talking about either, so it's gonna be news for him on there. Actually, I'm interested. Guess how Alliance achieved it. Law. They get 100 guilds. Mythic. The current tier rating done. Like any idea how? Because like we basically sat at like 15 guilds and then 30 guilds for a long time, while Horde was already at like 200 guilds done.
Yeah. Did they faction change?
Nope. It's more nefarious.
They use a powerful trinket to get through content.
That is a good guess, though. No, Zach, you want to tell them the goodness?
I believe China just like there was like a Chinese guild that basically just went through and like kept recreating guilds and then like killing it.
Yeah,
or something like that, or changing guilds or something.
What they were looking at is they've pieced it down to where they think that what happened was that there was Chinese guilds that were basically boosting other guilds, but they would use those characters' accounts though. And the way they were able to tell that though is that they were all basically mostly from the same server, which isn't very conclusive on that, but. A lot of the guilds would only kill like the last 3 bosses too. Like they didn't kill any of the other bosses in the zone, and the characters they were using didn't have like any good parses before this. Like their parsing, was like gray, and all of a sudden now they're like 95 or 99% parsing on bosses. You're like, I don't know about that. So yeah, they filled up like almost all the slots.
Apparently, account sharing is not as much of a thing in China.
Yeah, you don't get in trouble for it. I don't think. Not the same way.
Yeah, like I guess like Blizzard doesn't. Like Blizzard has a third party that manages the Chinese servers and stuff, so like that company doesn't really track or care, so it's like not really a huge deal to them.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? But I mean, I don't know what you. I guess
I don't think you can get mad. I mean, there's 200 Horde guilds that have killed it, so like yeah, if you're playing Alliance just so that you can get that achievement, then get good, I guess. I don't know.
I guess it's just like anything else, right? Like you just. If you sell like a Mythic Plus run, I mean, I guess you can just sell like a Mythic, raid run too at the same time. You're like, we're just doing it for your guild instead, so you can get the achievement on your characters. I don't know.
Right.
It's different though, but that was in the drama news. It's a little different.
Just give me some raids. All right. That'll be $3,000.
I wonder what the cost for that was. At the same time, the PvP scene, if you did notice that too, also got busted, which is not really multi-boxing related, but apparently it's funny how they phrase it too, because like they've actually been to like the BlizzCon championships and they've won it a couple times. But I can't remember the guys' names, but they got their accounts like 6 months on one of them banned and then one got perma banned. for basically trading for real life money, right? And the way they phrased it is they said they were coaching. And I was like, coaching doesn't sound too bad, because I think of like Limit from Maximus from Limit. Is his name Maximus? I don't know. The main the head.
Yeah, Max.
Anyways, yeah. So he legitimately is coaching though, right? Like he's raid leading in a non-playing spectator method. And I was like, that's what I thought when I thought of coaching. But then people clarified, and coaching is basically them being on the same team as you, and then just basically carrying the game, which is essentially what boosting is in the first place. They just call it coaching, and they're like, no, we did it for money, but it wasn't for that. And then they were also complaining that that's the only way they can make a living. Which, granted, some of these things don't pay out a lot, but I don't know. So that's that's been
2 out of the 3 got an indefinite suspension /
ban,
right?
Yes, and
It's
and
like
basically
Raikou, Swappy, and Looney, right?
Yeah, I think that's what I think that those names ring a bell. But then one of them that got busted was basically like every single team in the top 10 on all the championships or whatever is doing the exact same thing. They basically out of all. They said I have screenshots and logs and everything. I can show you details of every single person in the top 10 teams that is trading for real life money. I was like, yikes.
Anytime they put gear behind ratings, this always happens.
Yeah. But
when
conversely,
they remove the ratings and do it based off points, it happens less.
Yeah. Well, conversely, it hurts us quite a bit, because like we're sitting in like the lower brackets trying to like get our teams up there. Yeah, we're getting completely just flattened, and there's literally no chance for us to succeed in that environment, which has made it so much harder for us to gear up. Which is why, kind of circling back about why the Valor Points is nice, because like we're not dependent on an unfair situation like that. Although I guess
this
some people.
This has been a thing since Burning Crusade. People used to buy high-leveled 2v2 teams and do this.
Okay, full disclosure, in Burning Crusade, I actually sold 5s on there. But it felt a lot different though.
Well, you'd sell them the team for gold.
Yeah, you could sell
play on it and tank it.
Exactly.
And now that games in, they could buy their gear.
Exactly. That's what it was.
Games in, they just needed the rating, right?
Well, yeah, they needed to play like at least 70% or 30% of the games or something. So what I would do is I would invite 4 people. They would all pay, and then we would just lose the games. Like like we would. So like whoever we were facing, we weren't hurting anybody in the process hypothetically, because we were just losing the rating. I don't know. Wow. I made a lot of. You didn't make a ton of gold like you make now, but it felt.
Handle yourself.
I know. I feel terrible now.
Multi-boxer professional has been boosting for years.
It's always gold though. It was always gold.
News at 11. Yeah, that you'd sell, pay your bills.
Oh, goodness. It's too risky.
That's the rumor we're starting.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, we have logs from how long ago was TBC? It's been like, 13 years at least? 14 years.
13 years? Because it was like 2007, 2008, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to figure it came out 2 years like after the original. Yeah,
I know for a fact it's like 2007, because I had my kids in 08, and we were doing Yogg Saron 0. Like,
oh man, you're like, I can't deal with kids right now. I gotta raid.
No, like my ex-wife legit was like breastfeeding the kid on a keyboard tray, playing her mage, and when we got it.
Oh, that's man, like the level of dedication. That's so awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, that was 08. So that means TBC was like 06, 07.
I have
like right when I moved to California.
I have the exact opposite problem, where the wife is so anti-gaming, but She did go ahead and buy Small World World of Warcraft, like the board game, to try to like appease That's me. Cool. She's okay with board games, but actual video games are the bane of existence.
So I saw a sub goal for an elliptical tonight, and I was like, oh, maybe she'd grow up out of this video game thing. You could get her an elliptical from people's donations. Oh wait,
she got one. Yeah. We had to drive. Drive last week to get that thing. Oh man.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna say, Zach?
I was just gonna say I have like super mixed feelings on the whole PvP carry thing. I mean I don't know. Like it seems questionable. I don't think it scales, right? Like I don't think it scales enough to be a huge problem. So yeah. I just wonder like who's really being harmed in all this, I guess. I don't know, like probably not the average PvPer is being affected by this. Like the average player certainly isn't. So yeah, I don't get it from that perspective. I guess maybe it's bad optics, but
I mean, it goes against their honor code. Like when I was at the Blizzard campus, right, they've got like what goes around the orc statue, like their core beliefs, and I think they're doing this from just straight up principle standpoint.
So you mean like, so you're saying like the selling with the cash doesn't affect it, or I'm trying to understand. The one thing though that was kind of weird, and I didn't understand how it worked, but somebody showed a screenshot. The high end players, they're selling rank 1, like to get gladiator. They're able to sell that and still face off against 1,500 players, and it didn't make any sense to me. But what they do is they take like the high rated person, right, has their rating at like 2,400, and they have like another 2 players that are like 2,500 as well, and they'll take their rating and they'll tank it down to like 1,800 somehow, and then they'll queue up together. But they've tanked it so hard that their MMR together as a whole is like 1,500. But on their personal,
an MMR calculation that's being calculated based off your last X number of games.
I think
queue type.
Exactly. I think that's what's happening.
I remember there was a Blizzard code test I had to do, and I had to write a code queue that did some algorithm based off taking an average of the last 10 games, but it drops the first and last game in the queue, and then you had to like show it all in memory. Like, they do some interesting stuff for their MMR calculations.
That's got to be what it is, because literally the person showed the screenshot, and their team was like, one guy was like 1,400, one was 1,500, and one was like another 1,400, right? So they were all like, that was their thing.
Yeah.
But the other team was 2,400, 2,300, and like 2,100. You know, but their team rating was like 1,500. And they're like, what does this make any sense? The whole team is like literally, you know, gladiators.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they were able to super manipulate the system somehow. And people are like, yeah.
Saying, though,
yeah.
Is like it's only going to impact like top tier players, but I think that's why they care about it so much, because they want the integrity of it, because they want like spirit of the competition. They don't want people getting inflated stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think just remove rating requirements on gear, and you'll see a huge drop in the amount of people that are doing it, because then they're just going to be grinding conquest based off.
Just do it for transmog.
Exactly.
Transmog
flex.
Transmog them out.
I think that's perfect too. I agree, because transmog, I mean, you can still flex, and at the end of the day, like when you're playing the game. What's that?
Nothing.
Did I
Slips were great.
At the end of the day, I mean, that's what it looks like, right? Like, I mean, people that play a lot, they care about the transmog because it's the only thing you have to go for, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's
so
the only thing that can carry over.
I think that's totally fair. I feel like the elite reward should always just be transmog on there. Yeah. Anyways, that's the PvP land. That sort of affects us. I know that's not the super multi-boxing thing. I think you guys will turn a leaf though when you see the changes. Hopefully, you can see. I'm hopeful if the way the shaman changes look, if it makes it a lot more feasible, I think people will have a lot more fun if we can play for shaman and any kind of tank they want, because that also allows us to PvP as well. So you can still enjoy all facets. Because right now I've pretty much only done PvE. Because PvP is so busted.
As soon as you start investing your time in your Trinity, you just killed any hope of PvPing.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
But I also I don't know, I'm like super nervous to PvP because I just don't want to like get banned pissing people off. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a weird balance to strike.
I feel like if you're doing BGs though, I don't know if anybody's gotten in trouble just doing battlegrounds, right? Like obviously I think if you're just griefing like the same person over and over again, or if you're griefing like a quest hub or something like that, that's when it becomes an issue, because you're disrupting gameplay. But the intention in like a battleground is to be like not disruptive, but you're supposed to attack the person. Like the whole point of you being there was to fight the other guys.
Yeah, I just think like it doesn't really matter what like the intention is. Like if enough people report me and a GM looks at it, they might just make a decision, and then I'm kind of just screwed. So
yeah.
I don't know. I have like super mixed feelings on it.
I used to be the guy that sat with 10 prop pallies in Legion and killed the Flight Master and Jew when you landed. I still got all 10 accounts.
Yeah.
If they cancel me, I'll be like, sweet.
Yeah.
I'll finally play a different game.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
I think that's one way you need to look at it too, right? Like is like, I don't know. You want to be invested. You don't want to lose, especially if you feel like you've achieved quite a bit. the same time. But I've already kind of like, I don't know, I've crossed that bridge where if I can't multi-box, then I'm not going to play solo. Although I am going to play solo to try to get my Keystone Master up, but the main theme is just a multi-box. I mean, the whole goal is to, at the end of the day, to box. If I can't do that, then I won't be playing. Yeah. There's other games we can play instead.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I legit cancel all my pre-orders for Shadowlands when they changed the software change. And then I got a late start because you started boxing with hardware, and I was like, all right, we'll see if he doesn't get banned. After like a month, I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna play Shadowlands, and so I bought all my stuff.
So kind of a side thing. Have you been playing EQ at all?
Oh yeah, I got a world first race on Saturday.
Oh my gosh, you are gaming still. You got time. We're gonna bring you back in.
I literally am playing, like 1 day a week.
Yeah.
2 days a week maybe.
It's nice though. You're diversifying.
I play as a solo player in my EverQuest raiding guild.
Yeah, because they don't like boxers, right? That's why.
Yeah, it's a complicated situation. Basically, we do that Monday night, and it's like my thing I do. From like 5:30 to 8:30, so it's 3 hours. We clear the stuff. With this next tier coming out, we might have to go to like 9, or we'll raid 2 days. So it comes out on Saturday, and then like we've beat the expansion. They basically only come out with 9 fights per expansion and split them up into 3 tiers of 3. So, and then I play my own raid 1 day a week. That's about all I've been doing. And then any free time I have, I've either been working or trying to plug in video cards.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal in the summertime though for you.
Nah, it's all going to be outside the house by then. I got new power showing up. March, April. We talked about this, but your stream cut out.
Oh, is it still bad? Looks better.
No, I'm saying
this was
earlier.
Gotcha.
You, like went and said, "Oh, hi, I'm back." It's like, I just answered the question.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah.
And then I did last week or so I watched, because I was thinking about other options for multi-boxing, right? We got Final Fantasy, and I watched one of the high-end like raids recently, and there is no way you could multi-box that thing. I don't know how far along you got, Zoc, but like the higher tier stuff in there is basically, it just turns into Dance Dance Revolution.
My experience with Final Fantasy is like, I'm way too objective based of a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Where like, if you give me an objective to do it, and like I can do it, then I'm just gonna sit there and do it. And Final Fantasy just puts this wall of content in front of you, and it's like, oh, you think you can do this basic quest? Yeah? Well, how about you just keep doing basic quests for like the next 40 hours of your life? And I got too sucked into it, but also it felt like a huge waste of time sometimes.
Well, the good news, you can always pick it back up. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I probably couldn't multi-box raids there.
Oh no,
I don't know. It was like clunky too, to some degree. I mean, WoW is like a way more fun game to multi-box for sure, yes, hands down.
For sure.
Yeah, it's the best experience for sure.
Yeah. When I watched it, the one thing, the mechanics on it, it was less even about doing damage. It was more about like the fight itself, and the fight had like no relevance on like of what a traditional fight would look like. It was just like the mobs were like, had like a pre-programmed like route, and they would go in a circle, and you had to like stay in your own little platform, and you had to move around. It was obnoxious, but yeah, it was definitely not multi-boxable at that point.
Yeah, their fights are like more scripted than WoW's fights are. Like WoW's typically have like conditions, right? Like, you get to like this percentage and then like this happens. Whereas everything for Final Fantasy is like, like 45 seconds into the fight, it's going to do this ability. 5 seconds later, it's going to do this ability. It's like a lot more predictable from that perspective. But
yeah, that's literally EverQuest in a nutshell. They have stuff that activates at health percentages, or it's timer based. And there's an add-on called Gina, where people literally like, because there's no add-ons in EverQuest unless you do it through illegal activities. Basically, it reads your log files, and then like it gives you audio alerts. It's crazy how gaming has changed in 20 years. But it's pretty fun. But yeah, it's like you can do overlays and stuff with it, and it's like you'll get alerts, and we'll have timers, and Yeah.
And imagine having this kind of tech though, you know, like when EverQuest first came out though. I mean, not that the first tier was hard, but like in like the Planes of Power or something. Yeah,
exactly. We had like
that would be
100-man raids.
Yeah.
You'd still wipe sometimes, or like Vex Thalon was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like honestly, I don't see myself multi-boxing another game. I'll probably either just throw more time at EverQuest or go back to playing like Call of Duty and Overwatch and a lot of Hearthstone.
Well, I
was supposed to do a DreamHack tournament for Hearthstone, and then I had to sell a company instead, so I didn't get to go do it. So after COVID, I might go try to play at DreamHack again.
That'd be fun. Yeah. I did see some people were talking about the new MMO that's coming out, Ashes of Creation. I guess that you'll be able to multi-box in there, but I don't think there's any follow or anything. So I'm not sure how you're gonna multi-box in that. But
that game's like still a few years down the line, I think.
Yeah.
The game that I would consider playing is Pantheon, but like, what are the chances that's going to come out since Brad McQuaid died?
Oh, I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, he died last year.
Oh man, that was the founder of EverQuest, basically.
Yeah, that's why his the new progression servers on EverQuest are named Arden after his ranger. And so he's been working on Pantheon for a while, and like you could sponsor it.
Yeah,
they've had some pretty decent testing on it, but I don't know.
Huh.
They're claiming it's coming out in 2021.
Yeah.
It's basically EverQuest with modern engines.
Okay.
So that would be a game I would consider. But
yeah.
There's not many others that I've seen where I'm like, oh, I want to play this.
Man, there's the MMO market though. Like we're just getting too old. We're just aging with it.
So with that fun point, I've been multi-boxing Raid Shadow Legends, which is a mobile game. So I've got an Android emulator, and I run like 5 accounts.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, don't play that game.
No, okay, good. Because
I know. Yeah.
I had a
I spent so much money on that game.
I had like a Stream Elements gave me like a little thing. It's like, hey, we'll give you money if you play this game. It was that game.
I play it a lot.
That's a lot. That's awesome that you can multi-box it though. It's hilarious.
I kind of stopped because it was a lot of work because they've added so much content to the game now. But I was doing it trying to get accounts with good starter like legendaries, and I was going to sell them. Full disclosure.
Okay. Yeah.
I ended up not doing it. So just my main account, I've just dumped a ton of time and money into it. I just like it because like I can play, while I'm on a phone call at work just real quick, and it's kind of turned into this thing with a couple of guys I play EverQuest with. We're all in like the #1 guild in Raid Shadow Legends, and we like just meme about it. But, like, don't play it. I don't recommend it. It'll suck you in and take your life savings if you're not careful.
So is it the traditional mobile where you basically have to pay to win, sort of?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm not proud to say I've paid to win pretty hard in that game. It's like my Hearthstone account's worth a couple grand because I have every card in the game, right? But I've done that over
time,
years.
Yeah.
I almost had all of the champions in Raid Shadow Legends in 6 months, so people who've played the game, you'll understand how.
Man, I've never touched it, but that's why the mobile market does so well. It's pretty upsetting to see like the Activision Blizzard shareholder call, right? And then World of Warcraft did amazing with how many subs and Shadowlands.
Oh yeah,
did amazing. But then you have like the acquisition of their King, whatever that is. Isn't it King is like their division of their mobile apps or whatnot, and it actually produces more revenue.
Crush?
Yeah, it has Candy Crush is under it. Yeah,
Candy Crush will outsell World of Warcraft and Call of Duty.
It's so upsetting. It's so not fair. But I mean, that's what it is. Like literally, you've probably spent more money in that game than WoW.
To the casual female gamer.
Yeah.
The casual female gamer is like insane how much money they spend on games. Because like gaming has always been a stereotypical dude thing, right? And I'm not saying women don't play games; they totally do, right? But I feel like those games that are quick, bursty, just fun, stupid, brain-killing games, where it's like, I just want to play a game real quick before I go to bed. The level of casual player picks those up, and they'll pay to win on them because they don't have the time.
Yeah.
They're not really a traditional gamer. And then you've got also the phenomenon of that same mindset has made its way, and I'd argue, into World of Warcraft. Look at the way they have all these catch-up mechanics. Like how they do really short, bursty stuff, like Raid Finder, like all this different stuff that they did. But at the same time, as the generation of people that like we would play MMOs all day long and pull all-nighters, as we've gotten older and we have kids and jobs and stuff, we have less time. So like, I'm not really complaining or trying to be an elitist, but at the same time, I'm like, it's kind of weird how the video game ecosystem has gone so casual friendly, and that's why they just slay it. Like, it's an easy, low cost barrier to entry, but then it's like, how much do you value your time? Oh, I just want to get through this thing. Buy it, like $4, $4.
Yeah.
Times a couple million people. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take much time for them to produce new content. It's like sprites, basically.
Yeah. And I mean, that's where the money's at. Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, so I've done some mobile app dev and mobile gaming dev. I do it just as a hobby. It was kind of fun when my kids were little. They'd be like, Dad, make me a game. I was like, all right, what do you want? They're like, airplanes. Okay, they'd go to bed in the middle of the night, make it on an iPad, hand it to them in the morning. Like, here you go, check this out. The hardest part of making iPhone games is sprites and sounds. You got to be artistic. If you don't have that, it's hard to do them. The actual code and the logic, they've got so many engines now. It's pretty straightforward. It's really just, can you get the right art so you get a good Fiverr contractor or a friend that can do it. But I don't know, it's saturated. I've only had a #1 mobile app once in my entire life, and it only lasted for a couple of weeks, and we pulled it down. It's when my last company at Ghostery, we launched a
Flappy Bird.
Blocker. No, it wasn't Flappy Bird, I wish. But yeah, we were out selling Minecraft and stuff, but then it ended up getting pulled down because publishers were getting pissed. And the amount of saturation the mobile stores have, I don't know. There's this weird phenomenon. I know we're way off multi-box.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
But like, the amount of power and control like Apple and Google have on apps, right? Like, if they just influence your app and make it suggested, you'll get millions of eyeballs for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
it's nuts.
The Oprah effect.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's essentially it's a monopoly. Yeah, but like, so another thing, we haven't seen this since Minecraft, but that Valheim game that actually got my kids as well, which is interesting. It's basically like a more adult version of Minecraft, or the evolution of it in a way. I mean, it's made by 5 guys. And they just sold their 5 millionth copy on Steam. So I mean, if it's 5 dudes and each copy is $20, I mean, I don't know what the percentage cuts are, but they've done amazing for indie devs on there.
Basically, I need to make a Raid Shadow Legends WoW or Raid Shadow Legends EverQuest mashup, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, or
take people's money.
I'm surprised that we haven't had a AAA company honestly make a Valheim / Minecraft type of game. Like, I don't know why. I mean, you saw the same thing with Battle Royale, right?
Low-hanging fruit, right?
What's that?
Yeah.
Seems like super low-hanging fruit. It's like, hey, we're gonna make Minecraft, but it's not blocks, and people would be like,
yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't know. Go ahead.
No. Okay, so the example, right, is the Battle Royale. I mean, you had PUBG in H1Z when you had they started evolving, and you still had indie dev companies doing it, and then finally Fortnite got super lucky with that one. I feel like that was like an afterthought.
They were an indie dev studio that became the
exactly. But then the one that's making all the money is Call of Duty. All Call of Duty had to do was just put it in their game and put some effort into it, and that's like making boatloads of money right now, like just gobs of money for them.
Yeah, I feel like Fortnite still makes way more.
Probably. Yeah, they were just probably quicker to the.
Fortnite appeals to the younger generation.
Yeah, I say my kids, I buy them so much crap in Fortnite.
Yeah, and they're like 6 years away from having money. So once they have their own money, I feel like it's just gonna turn into like Blizzard and like, oh yeah, look at this new, we made this old boss a pet now, and then they're just gonna be like, cool, and they'll just buy it.
So I feel like Minecraft's the same way. Like, literally just some AAA company that needs to just pump out something. I mean, if 5 guys can make
right?
Yeah, I mean, and they've probably made their money back easily. I mean, with how many people continue to still buy Minecraft. I mean, I still bought it recently for the kids.
Yeah.
So I know that's far off the multi-boxing trail, but I think once 9.0
far out there.
I think once 9.05 comes, you guys will be like, oh my god, this is the best thing since sliced bread again. It just comes in ebbs and flows.
Like
I don't know if I'm gonna elicit. I don't know if that reaction is gonna be elicited, but I'm sure. I'm gonna play again.
I hear you.
This week at some point.
Yeah, like I was trying to maintain at least playing WoW 1 day a week to keep my caches going, to keep my gear moving. So when I got time to play again, I'd keep up. I stopped doing that too.
That's okay. I mean, it's one of those things where there's catch ups though.
Last week I did everything but Mythic Plus. Literally everything else. Like I did Torghast. I did. What else is there to do? Like the Souls quest. I did. I feel like I played like 4 hours. Like I feel like I played like 6 or 8 hours last week and did literally everything you can do on your team, with the exception of Mythic Plus. So that was dumb.
Wow.
Yeah, and then on Monday I was like, nah, I don't feel like playing.
No, I feel you on that front. I think what helps me on my side too is the whole streaming thing, right? I've mentioned it before. If I wasn't streaming, I probably wouldn't be as happy to play it. But I mean, it's almost like a hangout method too. Like it's just kind of hanging out, and like
super fun.
Yeah, and I like to play 3 days a week. Like literally this past weekend, I think I got on for like a brief moment. When I get on though, I get in trouble. Like I literally get in trouble. So I can't sneak away. Maybe when I'm 60.
We need to help you on your power dynamic situation there.
Apparently, yeah, it's very uneven at the moment.
Yeah, you can't afford it if it goes south. So
yeah, exactly.
You might be a hostage. Blink 3 times if you need help.
I have no choice. I love my wife. All right. Well, with that, guys, I won't keep you any longer.
Cool,
yeah, that's good, man.
Good luck with
like hanging out there.
Yeah. So the goal is I'm going to try to get a plus 10, hopefully this week or next week. But you know, it really depends on the keys. So
Crumble's knocking on your door, man.
No, he's going to get
his +8 video with with quaking. Yeah, that
did he post? Did he record it? I didn't know he recorded a video.
Yeah, he posted in Team Comp's channel on Discord. Yeah.
How did I miss that? Okay, yeah, I need to look at that because
you're about to become number 2, man.
No,
yeah,
he's already ahead. He's for sure already ahead because he timed a one that I didn't time, so he's doing amazing. So
wow,
yeah.
I thought you were a pro streamer. And
that's why I gotta figure out this Trinity comp. We gotta make it work. So I'm gonna try it right now. We'll see what happens.
All right, dude. Well,
all right.
It's been real.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go back to sleep. You
can
probably tell I just woke up from a nap before we did this.
That's all right. It happens. All right, we'll go to 15 next week, maybe. We'll see.
All right.
See you guys.
Talk to you later.